Crazy run of hot weather. Happy Mother's Day to everybody coming to you. It's almost 6 o'clock. I'm going to go with another coast featured camera today. It was for a second straight day as hot at the beach as it was in the valley. This is down in Lincoln County. This is a big property if you've never been. This is the Inn at Ottercrest. Devil's Punch Bowl's down that direction. This is a little bit south of Depot Bay. Again, the property sits back in these trees. It's really, really beautiful down there. I haven't stayed there, but I've driven around. And again, the Inn at Ottercrest. Okay, what did we do today? How about a record high temperature in Astoria of 93 degrees? Newport, 91. Portland tied the record for the date of 91 on this Mother's Day. Vancouver, 91. Hillsboro, 90. I know that Troutdale, 90 was, I believe, a record-tying number, and Salem was a record temperature of 93 degrees. Salem was warmer than you, oh my goodness, now I'm trying to remember. I think you folks might have been 93 yesterday. Most of us on this board here, in terms of Portland, Vancouver, Hillsboro, Troutdale, were actually a couple degrees cooler today than yesterday, which was a little goofy because with the east wind, I mean, it was 80 degrees in parts of the valley at 10 o'clock this morning. But then the temperature kind of stifled itself a little bit. And that can happen with an east wind. With an east wind, you get warmer quicker in the day, but then you tend to hold. If you just have a light variable wind, you're cooler in the morning, but then the temperature gains and gains and gains and gains. And you don't typically see your high reached until the 5 o'clock hour, or as we get more into summer, even the 6 o'clock hour. So it does depend timing-wise what the wind direction is doing. Today it was an east wind, and overall it was a little windier than it was yesterday. The peak wind out at PDX Day, this is along the Columbia River near the gorge. It had an east wind gust of 38 miles per hour, by the way. Okay, well, this is historic stuff. I'm going to get to that in a moment. It looks like the Weather Service, once we get the sun going down this evening, will drop the heat advisory for the coast. It's expected to be more of a variable to west breeze at the beach tomorrow. Most of you will stay in the 70s. There could be an 80-degree temperature, but the heat advisory expected to expire this evening along the coast. It's unclear to me if the Weather Service is going to include all of the I-5 corridor tomorrow in a heat advisory or not. They have put out that they will be including certainly the North Valley, Portland, up into Southwest Washington, Cowlitz County, Clark County in the heat advisory for tomorrow's 90-degree temperatures will be possible. So let's back it up. Friday, the actual high was 90. That broke the record of 87. Yesterday, the actual high was 93. That broke a record. Today, the actual high looks like it's going to be 91. That will tie the record. And then the record tomorrow is 93. I'm going to hold our temperature down to 87 for now, looking at some cloudiness, a realistic, not a likely storm chance, but a realistic chance of a storm, spotty or scattered in our area. And all of that would hold the temperature down a little bit. Now, I mean, it's going to be close to 90 tomorrow, and maybe we make it. Maybe I get up tomorrow morning to start my day at KGW and I change my mind and I pop 90 right back up. I will tell you the weather modeling is going 90 tomorrow. So it's certainly going to be hot for a fourth consecutive day. The east winds, I mentioned the east winds will be ending for the coast overnight tonight. Those east winds are going to be they're going to be calming and turn more variable overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. And tomorrow looks to be kind of a variable to light wind in most areas, certainly away from the gorge. The gorge, I haven't looked at as closely as I should, and I will for tomorrow. I'm not sure if the gorge is still going to have gusty east winds or not tomorrow. I haven't looked at that, but I will before I play TV tomorrow morning on Channel 8. But the rest of us expected to see much calmer winds than we've seen. Okay, here we go. This is interesting. PDX, site-specific, record May 90-degree heat. So the last 3 days have all hit 90. So doing so, we tied the PDX record for the consecutive and total number of 90-degree days in May. The May of 1987 set the record with 3 total 90-degree days. We've never had more than that since PDX records began back in 1940. That spring of 87 produced all 3 of those 90-degree days consecutively like we have just had. So we've tied all of that. So if we go a 4th day tomorrow, we will break the consecutive record and the total number of 90-degree days out of PDX. But a 4th 90-degree day would also tie the all-site record, including downtown Portland, these records go back to 1874. If you go back to 1874, there was the downtown, there was the old airport, the new airport, KGW is now the reporting site. There has never been more than 4 90-degree days in the month of May. Tomorrow we could tie that record. That's crazy. And we did something this morning, which I think will hold up through midnight tonight. The warmest low temperature in the month of May for PDX is 62. That was the low this morning. And I don't think we're going to get down to 62 by midnight. So we have at least tied that mark. And we may be above 62 tonight, which would set the all-time mark for the warmest overnight temperature. Crazy stuff, right? Crazy stuff. All right, let's talk about a thunderstorm chance, shall we? I've got 3 different images lined up here. Okay, all of the colored X's there that you can plainly see, all lightning strikes from south of the border up through Arizona into Nevada, into the Reno area in Tahoe, Northern California, up near south of Boise, it looks like. But right here, thunderstorms, I grabbed this image at about 5:15 this afternoon. Thunderstorm activity, cloud to ground, lightning, starting to work in the southeastern corner of Oregon. And all of this is going to continue to push back to the west, okay? Here's the upper level low. Remember, days ago, this was back in Kansas, Nebraska. It's been migrating to the west. Now centered basically over Nevada and parts of Northern California and starting to work its way up into southern Oregon. So that's the trigger for all this activity. This is just a good old-fashioned visible satellite picture. See the bright colors? Those are higher cloud tops showing up nicely. Some of these cloud heights are projected to be up to about 35,000 feet in eastern Oregon overnight tonight into tomorrow as thunderstorms become scattered in that area. Obviously, you see no clouds to speak of really here along the north coast or Portland Sound. We remain clear, but all this cloudiness is now starting to build across eastern, central, and southern areas of our state. This low will continue to migrate a bit more to the west. It might come up a little bit more to the north. That would fuel the possibility that we would have some thunderstorms coming our direction. So this everything painted green, which is basically all of Oregon and Washington except for the coast areas, is in the National Weather Service, what they call the convective outlook for tomorrow, for Monday. Convective outlook means you're going to have instability, towering cumulus clouds, and the possibility of thunder and lightning. So we are at least in that possible realm from what the National Weather Service Severe Storms Prediction Center puts out. Okay, and then this is just a computer model. This is only tonight through 7 a.m. what they call the high resolution model, and it's pretty gosh darn accurate. So it shows overnight tonight into 7 a.m. These are all scattered showers of potential thunderstorms across eastern Oregon, southern Oregon, migrating farther and farther back to the west, and then down Nevada and California. So again, this activity expected to continue to move closer and closer to us, and perhaps we, in fact, will have a scattered storm in the area tomorrow or tomorrow night. All right, so we're watching all that. It still looks like after we are expected to cool down at least into the 8. Did I misspell Thursday? I did. I'm sorry. I just now noticed that. Typo. Sorry. It now looks like, assuming that we get down into the 80s, maybe tomorrow, and then Tuesday, we could be near 80 again Wednesday. And then I showed you this map yesterday, and it hasn't changed. This is still pretty high confidence. We're going to be back up into the 90-degree range this coming Thursday. So it's possible we could hit 90 again on Wednesday. Thursday looks to be a good bet. Friday, it's a possibility. If that's the case, we'll blow away the records for the most 90-degree temperature days in the month of May. So that's crazy. Now, I mentioned this yesterday, and as I get you to the 7-day, I will double down on it. It still looks like, once we get through this week, that the following week is much more pleasant, with temperatures really dropping back down with a number of days only in the 70s. So that's coming. All right, for tomorrow, though, 87, maybe 90. It depends on the cloudiness and how realistic the storm chance turns out to be. And how realistic that turns out to be would also fuel maybe a lingering shower on Tuesday. Otherwise, we're dry on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's the 88 Wednesday, the 92 Thursday, the 88 Friday, could be 90. And then we're still really warm going into this weekend. Now, weather models do differ. Some of them hold us down more like 82, 83 on Saturday, Sunday. But if you look at some of the other models, they're actually closer to 90, and I kind of picked a warm number kind of in between as we decide wait and see what the models are going to say. But it's going to be a warm to hot week through the period, it looks like. and then the cool down comes that following week, as I mentioned. Well, keep an eye to the sky tomorrow. Again, no guarantee that we get storms. The storms could stay to our south and could stay off to our east. So it is a possibility, and I'll be watching, and we'll see what happens. All right. Thanks for using my YouTube video. My weather site's portlandweather.com. I'll talk to you soon.